NIDS bill by March 2020. Government to pay special attention to housing stock, and 48 youth lauded for their service to Jamaica. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan.
Our people deserve the best, and this administration that I lead is committed to ensuring that the systems, processes, and technology are in place to give the people of Jamaica the best possible service.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness made that assertion during Tuesday's sitting of Parliament, where he announced plans to table a new National Identification System NIDS bill by the end of March next year. Mr. Holness said while the bill was being worked on, Cabinet had approved amendments to the NIDS Solution contract that was awarded to Productive Business Solutions Limited. That amendment will see to the execution of non-ID related upgrades until the new NIDS bill is tabled.
The government decided to focus on the initial ICT upgrade to address urgent needs at PICA and RGD. The remainder of the contract is to cover new systems and infrastructure upgrade and the implementation of the National Identification System. However, these activities will not be executed until a new National Identification and Registration Bill is tabled.
The NIDS project is broken up into two major activities. The first is ICT infrastructure upgrade, which accounts for 80% of the IDB loan agreement. There's also the national identification component, which accounts for 20% of the NIDS project loan. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has committed his government to providing housing to its citizens. Mr. Holness reiterated his pledge following Saturday's tour of the housing stock in Western Kingston. According to the Prime Minister, the state plans to provide social housing through the HOPE program, as well as affordable housing solutions from the National Housing Trust.
I've seen conditions which should not be allowed to continue. Really bad, terrible conditions actually. This area of Kingston, the Denham Town community, is probably one of the oldest established residential communities in Jamaica. These communities are in excess of 60 years old, some of them, particularly Midtown and other areas. And since then, there has not been any reinvestment in the repair, rehabilitation, or renewal of the housing stock. And I've seen buildings 100 years old, buildings that are about to collapse, but still yet they accommodate families. In some cases, 3 or 4 households live there. The conditions in Rasta City are particularly disturbing and require urgent attention.
The Prime Minister also used the tour to call for greater conflict resolution in light of an increase in domestic violence cases in the area.
And I'm urging the citizens, regardless of the conditions under which you live, regardless of the difficult economic circumstances that you face, that is not an excuse for living bad with one another. It's not an excuse for cutting up one another and throwing stones after each other.
The Prime Minister spent Saturday evening lauding 48 young men and women for their service to the nation. Awardees were drawn from 12 categories, including leadership, entrepreneurship, and media.
There are many youth on whom we can rely to contribute to stronger and more resilient economic growth in fulfilling our commitment to reduce poverty and boost shared prosperity.
Mr. Holness shared similar sentiments with the 2019 junior mayors. At Wednesday's function, which was put on by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, the Prime Minister expressed the need for strong leadership.
An important part of leadership is to identify, groom, and expose, counsel, and mentor good leaders. And so I'm very pleased, very happy when I see this initiative coming out of the Ministry of Local Government and the municipal corporations. It means that you will have, in the years to come, indeed in the not too distant future, the human resources to continue your work.
And that's how we close our Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.